Well, hello, boys and girls. Just finished up with my Pilates and reading some letters. And they're telling me that I should mix up my background. Well, I'm in my basement 92% of the time, so that's pretty much my background. Just wait a sec, we get to change the lighting. Hey, look at that. I don't know if that's any better or not. Oh well. And I'll move my TV over. There, see, I'm getting more professional. um, So they said I should stand up more, mix it up a little bit. Well, the reason why I don't stand up more is because if you haven't noticed, I frequent some rum o'clocks. So standing doesn't bode well for that. Post Pilates though is definitely conducive for that sort of activity. So I am doing so. Chicago Blackhawks. I'm gonna do that. I've even thrown the alphabet out the window. I just kind of randomly pick teams now. Uh, Chicago, if you go back into your journals, you'll see that I predicted that they would make the playoffs, but not like very well. They are still a poor depth team. They keep on picking up college players like Hinestroza and Schmaltz and stuff like that. It still needs some work, but they seem to fit in fine. And they have a trade deadline where they'll bring in some future free agents for like just to fill in some gaps and stuff like that. But I still think they're going to struggle. I don't think Host is going to put up the numbers that he's been putting up. I love the guy. He's like one of my favorite players ever, but he's getting up there, and I see him fading down the stretch. I Plus with the college kids, they've never played more than 50 games or something like that in a season. They almost always fade down the stretch. So for points or goals are going to be tough to come by. I think you'll see Taves start to take on more of an offensive role. And if you're wondering why Taves hasn't put up points, it's because the guy is such a leader. He takes roles that a lot of guys don't take. And because they will end up losing money. But he's got so much money, anyways, it doesn't matter. And he's just so good at everything. He can play any role you give him. He'll probably have a really long career because of that, too, by the way. I see Taves getting more points down the stretch here. Kane is going to keep on doing what Kane does. Anisimov will probably be maintained. I've been saying that he's a point a game player for quite a while, and now it's starting to happen. So I think he'll be fine. I mean, their core has always been good. Seabrook and Keith, of course, are great. Their defensive depth is actually a little better than people give it credit for. I thought Jocelyn was going to keep on flowing. He looked really good, but he faded off. And they could definitely use some depth there. And that's probably what they'll do. One thing I want to mention, though, Bowman has been on record as saying that he's not going to trade his first round pick because they have the draft this year. And they don't want to, they want to keep it for the draft. Psst, that's a load of shit. He doesn't care about the draft this year. He's just trying to make that more valuable than it is, so he can get. So people really have to reach for it if they want it, so he can get a better player. He plays that all the time. I love him for that. Me saying that Chicago's just barely going to make the playoffs, I've made this prediction before, unfortunately, and they always seem to find a way to get in the top four by the end of the year, partially because there's a couple coaches I've told you about that I think are like top of the line, never fire. Julian is one that Boston's talking about right now, and Q is another one. I mean, he is an unbelievable coach. He has really taken a lot of Chicago teams to they did really well, but their team on paper or per man was not as good as that record should have been. Crawford's part of that. He's really developed his game to be an elite goaltender. It's something that I didn't think he was going to do, but he has, and kudos to him for that. But no doubt about it, Q is definitely part of that. I don't know what I'm going to pick next to do. But if you're enjoying this fine programming, be sure to head over to @mypearlsofwisdom on YouTube, where you will find a bevy of wisdom and enlightenment from the last year and in the future. I'm sure you will be there'll be hours of time that you can just spend perusing, since I know you, like me, have all the time in the world. All right, that's why I can do this. Anyways, that's my full 42%, and I have to go get myself relubed for my nap. So I gotta go. Have a great day. Take care.